Hello, everyone. My name is Robin Brown, and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. I'm so glad you could join us today. We are having our January Zoom card class today, where we'll be making 4 cards using some of the new products in our new mini catalog. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you stick around and join in whenever you'd like. Thank you. All right, well, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so YouTube has changed things around, so all you need to do to see any of our videos is when you're at YouTube, type in @Robin's Creations. It'll take you right to the channel, and you can watch anything you want to watch there. All righty, so our new catalog is live today. Some of the stuff that was out of stock is back in stock. Woohoo!
Wow.
Making progress. Maybe. I thought I'd start out today with something a little bit new. We haven't done a slimline card yet. So this is one I created. It's using the Lighting the Way stamp set and the Lighting the Way dies. So this is a die cut from the dies, the lantern, and then the 2 small lightning bugs.
The card base measures 7 1/2 inches by 8 1/2 inches.
Call them glowworms?
Sorry about the mistake.
The 2 small ones are stamped, and the big one is die cut out with the stamp behind. And then there's the inside. You are all kinds of wonderful. So that is what we're going to be making. And it starts out with a card base that is 7 inches wide by 8 1/2, and you score it at 3 inches, and that gives your card base. And then all of the layers, this is going to be 3 3/8 for the black layer by 8 3/8. So that will just fit with a little skinny little border there. And then the next layer, the white layer, that's another 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that will fit on there, and that should be 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, so we're going to start out with the 2 white pieces, and we're going to, and I've cut out your lantern and your grass piece here, and you'll also have pieces in there somewhere. When they're, of course, they're not in this kit. There will be your ladybug or your lightning bug parts, your label for your tag, and so we will get going on that. We're going to use some, I have to get the bugs out of the stamp set, and we're going to use the little lady, or the, why do I call them ladybugs? Little lightning bug, the medium one, and the big one does not get stamped, or doesn't get stamped, it's die cut, but we're going to use the glow. These things that look like circles are the glow for the bugs. So we're going to have a little glow and a medium glow and a big glow. And then we're also, this is called a trail glow, a trail of glows. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what the lady who designed that I copied called it. And then this is the large grass piece. And then we'll use this little grass stamp. So let's get started with our little grass stamp. That's the first thing we're going to do. So we're going to take some garden green. And we're going to, I believe it is, let me see how far up that is. It's about 1.25 inches up from the bottom. So if you lay your paper right on the grid, you'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th one up, that's where you want to start stamping some grass. Right there, we're just going to go across. And if you turn your stamp a little bit, it'll look a little bit more natural. And some of them overlap, you know, like just like the weeds in your lawn. At least we have pasture grass out here. We don't have lawns, so it's we have lots of weeds. And then right next door to me is a open field, so we have a lot of trouble. If we wanted to get rid of weeds, we would have nothing but bare ground, because that's the way our grass grows. So the other thing that this that you would stamp in the garden green is the piece of grass, and you would stamp that and cut that out with the matching dies. So I've done that already here. And then you're going to need a lantern, which I cut out of the black. And then there's my bug parts there. Now there's 2 ways you can do this lantern. I put the bottom of it at the bottom of the grass, and you can sort of mark right inside this little, if I can find my pencil. I have a zillion pencils. You think one would show up when I need it?
Oh,
Nope. Okay, found one. All right, so let's try marking this here. Here, all the outside edges of it is the boundaries, is where you want to kind of mark that. And so right in that area there is where we're going to take a light So Saffron marker, or you can use a regular Stampin' Right marker, or you can use crayon, you can use colored pencil, you can use whatever you want, light yellow. Okay, kind of ball of light yellow, and then I'm going to take the dark one and intensify it in the middle a little bit. It looks like it's effulgent a little bit. It looks like it could use a little closer to the pencil marks. You don't want to go past the pencil marks, because then you're beyond the scope of your lantern. Let's see how we did here. That looks kind of pretty good. I think what I'll do, and you probably could just do this, is just hold it down and then color inside of it. And then I took on my sample, I took some Crystal Effects and colored the glow so that it is, what is this now that you cover this over with ink and then it won't erase? Interesting. wonder what I have to do to get that out. Let's see. So don't color over your pencil marks. Let's see if that helps. I can't the pencil will not erase if you do. Huh. Interesting. Well, see if we can just move it down a little bit and cover it up. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, so the next thing we want to do is to glue this down. And if you were smart at the beginning and cut this out with a piece of double-sided adhesive, the adhesive sheets, and you can make a sticker out of it, or you could run this through a Xyron if you have one, make a sticker out of it, and then you wouldn't have to glue. So we're just going to glue that down right in that glowy area right there. Okay, but in your kit, I have some pieces that I cut out of paper. So if you think you don't want to use marker, you can just put these pieces of paper in here, like inlay them into the spaces. So, and that's what I did, the inlay on my sample. And then I took the marker and went over the top of it, and then I took the crystal effects and made it shiny to make it look like glass. So if you want to do all that, you can. That's disappointing. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to find out, that if you go over your pencil marks with an alcohol marker, then you can't erase them anymore. Interesting. Learn something new every day. Then I'm going to take the piece of grass and glue it kind of in position over here, like so, just like that. And then it probably would have been a good idea, and I didn't do it, so I'm going to cross my fingers that I do it right. Probably would have been a good idea to do all the stamping before I put my lantern on there, because if I screw up, then I'll have to, you know, start over. So, all right, so I've got the tiny ladybug here, and I need some gray granite ink. So the lightning bug bodies are gray granite, and then their glow is so saffron. And so we're going to put one little bug up there. That's the little one. And then let's see. And the medium bug is over here. Somewhere like this. And then I'm going to just stamp the trail, the glow trail for this guy. He's going to be about here. So I'm going to want my glow trail to be right around there or so. So I'm going to pick that up and put it kind of here. And then this one kind of here. And this one kind of here. And then all we have to do is stamp the little glow gizmos here, little glow circles. And I put the stickers on the back of those glow circles, but it's really hard to find which way is exactly right on the glow circle. So I would say just aim for it. It's sort of a circle. So, and okay, so that's why I'm trying to say that I'm going to try to get it over his tail there. Hey, I did pretty good on that one. There's the little one. then the medium one. And let's see, right about there. Okay. And then the big mamu. And it will go around about here. And then we will take the, after we mount it on the card, we'll put this up on dimensional. So let's do, we'll stamp the medium. That's the outside. We'll hang on to that for a minute. Let the inside looks like so. So I have that mounted up in a StampYourArtOut here somewhere. Yes. And so we're going to stamp the sentiment in black. I'll probably set that at the watch. And Cajun craze ones are dirty here. I'm going to stamp the sentiment in memento black, and then the body of the bug in the gray granite again. Down and over. Want to do the black again because I'd like it a little bit stronger than that. Yeah. And that's our inside. And let's put another glow trail here. And I stamped that in the wrong color. Should have been gray granite, and I stamped it in so saffron. So we'll just leave it that way because otherwise we'll have a problem. And then this is the medium glow. Yeah. All right, so that's the inside. All right, so the rest of it is pretty much assembly. You will have the lightning bug comes in three pieces: a gray body, a yellow tail, glow tail, and then a little vellum pair of wings. So let's see, where are we at? Put our card base inside layer. And then I made you envelopes, but I tried to find some kind of paper that would match, like some DSP, and this is sweet sorbet paper. So I just really didn't have any other envelopes material that you could write on that wouldn't look too cluttered and busy by the time you got the address on it. So I made them out of like a parchment color. And then this is the inside. Did anybody buy this set?
Not yet, anyway.
Nope.
Not yet, huh?
One never knows. Since I seem to have, this is in the occasions, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Since I seem to have a tendency to buy everything in the occasions catalogs.
Alrighty. Inside. Likewise on the outside. And then we'll do our label. And a little extra piece in there. All right, and then we're going to put this front piece on here. Oh, didn't get it straight. Tiny little borders are really hard. I wish I wouldn't have made such a tiny border. I will have to rethink that idea next time. Let's see. Well, that's as good as it gets right now. All right, and then you have your little sentiment tag. And I think I also have that mounted up on something. No, that's coming right out of the stamp set. It's got to be sitting right here. Yep. I'm glad I found it. So I have the sentiment is thanks for lighting the way. And then the inside is you are all kinds of wonderful. So thanks for lighting the way. It's here. Got this little piece. And we're using black. And then you're going to you're going to want to stamp this over to the left because we're going to make a flag out of the whole label when we get it on there. So if I'm ever out of frame and you can't see, kind of yell at me because I get carried away and can't figure out what I'm doing. And I just go talking, and then you can't see a thing. All right, so this is going to get glued right on here, even side to side. And you wouldn't have to make a banner out of it, but you can. And I think I will. So get that centered. And then find your handy scissors. I snip to the middle. Melanie's not here. Is she okay? Just taking care of her hubby?
As far as I know, I
Okay.
think oh, you know what? Terry had a doctor's appointment today. That might
Okay.
be. He's doing pretty well, but
All
lots
righty.
of
So
doctoring.
then this tag is going to get put on there with some dimensionals. Alrighty. And now the other addition you can do to this is to make a little bow, which I forgot to do. So that was the intended thing to do. Make a little bow out of linen thread and put it up here in the top of the lantern. Or whatever else you want to make a bow with. So there you are. And then this is what the envelope looks like. Just like so. And flips right in there. I made this on the envelope punch board. And then it doesn't tell you that you have to trim, but you have to because the point of the envelope comes all the way up here when you're cutting it. And then you'll have to put some sealer on there. All right. And this one is more the right size. It overlaps a little better here. So yours will be the right size. I chose to use the wrong size for mine, so I didn't waste the envelope. Let's see, it'll close. So you'd put your Tombow here. You can either, if you leave the Tombow dry, you can use this little bottom squeegee and just squeegee some Tombow on there and let it dry. And then you will have a self-stick feel that you can use. All right, it's a pretty heavy. I don't really know how much it weighs, but it might go over. Just in case, you better make sure you check it out before you send it off. All righty. So our next card. Oh, no, we didn't finish that. Oh my goodness, how could I not finish that? I forgot to put the bee on his buzz here. No, I mean the lightning bug on his glow. So I just used some mini dimensionals on the bug body. Works just perfectly, perfect size. And flipped him over and put his glow right there. And then I took some Winka stuff and put it on those wings. And then you're also supposed to take a black marker, the fine end, and color the legs black. Just so they show up a little better. And you're supposed to do that on all the bugs so we can see their legs. I don't know why that's important, but it was to her, so. Well, since I'm copying her card. And then she also took the wing of Stella, and there's some little tiny, I don't know if you can you see this little tiny little dragon lightning bugs there?
Oh,
In the trail. So she took the wing of Stella and put some on each one of those just to make them sparkle. And I kind of just plopped it all over the place, really, because I didn't want to mess around too much looking for them. But and then you can do some on the wings up here. Wings up here. And if you want to put some on the big bug wings up here, that's fine. And I'll put some on his tail section there. All right. And then you could also put some in on this lantern, just to make your glow. Either that or use the crystal effects. It doesn't matter. They both look about the same when you're all done. There, that looks better. Now it's finished. Except for the bow, I forgot. So. And that could be a just because kind of card, or a thank you. You could turn that into a thank you very easily. And that one was done by Carol Buckalew from InkyBeeStampers. Oh, InkyBeeStampers.com. It doesn't say on here where she's from. Interesting. She also used, I don't know if you can see it on there, she used the country gingham paper. I didn't have any, so I used the gingham garden paper instead. So the country gingham that's in the new catalog is a lot smaller print to it, smaller kind of plaid to it. So looks more like a picnic apron, picnic tablecloth. All right. So that's card number 1. All right. Card number 2 is a creation from Kylie Bertucci.
Oh.
And it's kind of crazy. I don't know. It may be way too much. You may not want to do all that much with it. You can leave out whatever parts you want, but she has a belly band to hold it closed, and then that's the front of the card. To me, it's, you would want something on there, but I don't know what. Then it opens like so, and like so. And then this is a spot over here to tuck something like a gift card in. If I could find something to tuck in there, show you. It tucks in there. Okay, and it uses like one piece of every single pattern of the paper. And then this opens up here in the middle like this.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's
then
a lot of layers.
yeah, so and then you have this side here when you close it. So yada yada, yada yada, yada yada, and then put the belly band on. And the belly band is not no lightweight either. It's got almost every die in the set. These are the delicate desert dies. And so it uses 2 of this same one on the front. This is a separate die. This is a die that cuts holes. And then this real cute little border. So if you wanted, you could actually not put this piece on, not put this piece on, and still have it like this, but then that would be in the way. So I think that's why she covered it up. But you could leave this piece out, or one or the other, you know, and just have it sort of like so. Have it open like that. And that could be your card, or you could have it so it was like so, and leave this one out. Okay. I kind of like that one. The color is more pleasing that way. So, and now during the demonstration she was doing, her husband is saying, don't cut up all that DSP, because to make your kits, I used a whole package. There's very little left of it. And then that just slides on there. Okay, so I will attempt to show you how we do this. You have a standard card base. And then it's folded in the front at 2 1/8 inches. So you'd fold that back. And somewhere around here, I have a bone folder. No, it was sitting right here. There it is. Okay. Now, to make matters worse, to do this next step, she glued a whole a whole sheet over this, and then put the hinge up here at the top. So to save some weight, because it was going to be really, really hard, I decided to make a flap at the top and glue the flap on. That way you don't have this other half. She had a whole nother piece coming down. So this was going to be 4 layers thick by the time she was done, because there's a side layer that went over it as well. So anyway, I have, this piece is just a fraction of an inch. Yeah, this is 4 1/8 inch, so that when you close it up, it clears the fold and doesn't cause a bulky issue. So we're going to put some glue on the flap. Found the best way to do it was to put it on here like this, and then line up the top like so. Take your bone folder and use it as a bumper to bump that flat, or you can put it inside your StampYourArtOut or your scoring tool to make sure you get that nice and flat. Okay, so that's one piece of it. And then, like I say, she would have actually done another whole piece across here with this. I mitered the corners so that these could fit on here and clear without any problem. So, and I do the same thing with that. I'm going to set it up on the edge. And this one is exactly the same size as the inside piece here. So we're going to take and put that in the trimmer and just zip off a tiny fraction of a, no, not even a 1/16 of an inch, just a little zip just to get that clear of the corner. I put it in here and make it, feel it just enough that it sticks out. So that's all I took off there, that little. That'll give it enough room to clear the fold when you fold it. All right, so we got this kind of thing going on. Now we need to find out what goes where. All right, so we're going to dump out our package here. All right, so we have this, and you can change this up and put it in any order you want. This is the one that I chose to go here because I was copying what she did. If you're going to do a Kylie Bertucci, you really got to copy it, right? She's very famous in the Stampin' Up world.
Mm-hmm.
She and her husband are a stamping team. All right, and I have, I believe it's, gotta look here. I have this kind of sunset gizmo going on here. So that's what we'll put up there. And I'm doing this with glue just because it's really, really fast compared to tape runner. So feel free to use tape runner. I mean, I don't know if it would add bulk to it or not. And then the outside of this flap is going to have this particular pattern on it. I gotta open up a different glue. See? Okay, and then the front piece is going to get this one, which is the back side of that one. So that was interesting to get enough. And these are all these pieces are just a 1/4 inch shorter than the height and a 1/4 inch skinnier than the width of each panel. So this is 2 1/8, so this is going to be a 2-inch piece, I believe, here. Well, that wouldn't be right, is it? But that's what it is. Should have been trimmed a little narrower. And then this one is going to go here. Goodness. You want to try to get the heights of all your paper the same. This card's too big for the workspace here. Alrighty, and then let's see, we got both of those. Then we have to do this side here, which you use this particular pattern, which is the back side of that one. So you can see if you made, I don't know, are you wanting a kit? Who wants kits this time? Mary, you want a kit? Ellen, you want a kit?
I don't know, I'm thinking.
Pardon?
I'm thinking.
Okay. And then Carolee, you said you weren't ordering this month, so
No,
okay.
just watching for fun.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so that's all the big panels done except for the one with the sentiment, which we'll do last. This is the pocket panel. And I cut this, I measured up 1 inch from this bottom here and 2 3/4 to here. So this measurement is 1 inch high. This is 2 3/4, and I marked it with a pencil and just zipped it off. And then this one is a 1/4 inch smaller, so it's 3/4 by 2 1/2, and they're 4 inches wide down here. So we'll put this piece on. Here. Its border. I always cross my fingers that that comes out right on those. And then we're just going to glue the bottom 3 sides, or the outsides. We're going to leave that slanted line open for the pocket. Oops. Good catch. All right. And this one I made just a hair skinnier so that it would not go over the fold. So you want it even with the top and the bottom. And then everything else should just fall into place. And looks like we could still take a little bit off of there yet. So my little, when it doesn't fold exactly the way you want it to do, this is the solution.
No.
So I just took another little sliver off. And there we go. That's better. All right. So then let's work on this sentiment piece here. It's just basic white. It's gonna go into the StampYourArtOut like so. Get it. Okay. I have my StampYourArtOut marked so that the paper is not up in the corner or near a hinge, so that it'll stamp as neatly as possible. And then we're going to take Cajun Craze. And if you have some terracotta tile hanging around, you could use that too. you know, terracotta. In fact, the Spanish word for this is terracotta intenso. You like my accent?
Lovely.
All right, so then we're just going to lay that down on there. And hope for the best. Looks pretty good. All right. Back to that in a minute. And sending. So the outside is saying something about sunshine. I forgot what it said. And I don't know what happened to the piece with the, there it is. It says, you are what sunshine feels like. And then on the inside, sending warm rays your way. I use those because those were the stamps with the set. So I don't exactly know. I don't know. You are this, what kind of thing that would that be? Just a thinking of you, maybe? Sort of. Or a thank you, maybe. I think that probably should have been a thank you inside of here. But this could be a get well. So you could put get well on the front here with some other stamp. So now that's the whole inside of the card, and all the outer panels are, yeah, see, you could fold that either way, whatever way you like. All right, so on to the outside panel now. And this is, the whole thing is an outside belly band. So, I have another, yes. Another filled out, setup, I mean stamp for this. And I just put this up here in the corner, and I put it so that the ones that I die cut out are on the upper half of the set of the piece, so that I could save room for the sentiment down on the bottom. And so we will stamp that in Cajun Craze as well. And if I move my magnet, that would help. There we go. That looks pretty good. We're done with that. That and that off to the side. We're totally done with that one for now. And then this is one of the die cut pieces right here. And then I took a couple diamonds out of the places where you punch out of the white and glued them to the front. So you'll get a piece that looks like that. All glued already, because I didn't want to lose those little pieces. And I know you would probably say, making me glue this little stuff on here. So this nice little southwestern kind of thing. I use this point of reference here and this one here to like line up with the center. It works really well because there's these little notches that are exactly on the center of this piece. So if you line them up like so, where this piece is centered with that notch, you're going to be in good shape for being totally centered in the picture. You know, to watch this one little triangle that stands out here by itself likes to flap around in the breeze. So make sure when you're gluing it down, you get it straight too. You wouldn't want a wonky Navajo piece there. And then this is there's a long die, border die that I just cut up enough to fit on here. I'll glue that there. Here we go. We'll just glue that on here. This, and making sure it's straight. And it goes side to side, so it's easy to line up and get straight. Alrighty, so then when you're making your belly band, you're gonna glue this. This is the back piece. Comes all one piece, and I was going to show you here. There's these where it cuts out. If you wanted to, these little guys here could be cut off right here and right here, and then you'd have another see-through kind of pattern for whatever was on the bottom. But as they are, they're in there. And then we'll take this one piece, which is the exact same thing as that this was before I poked the holes in it, and it just in a different color. And we're just going to kind of put it at a little bit of an angle. And I just put it so that this top tip was all the way over here. And the bottom tip, or the other top tip, was over there. How did I do that? Yeah, this tip and this tip are touching, and then this is the same distance here. But it doesn't matter. It's supposed to look wonky. And then this one, you would put on there, you'd line it up square. And like I said, because those little notches are on there, there's 4 notches, 1, 2, 3, 4. You just not line those up with these little circle points. And you will have that centered very easily. And then the pattern shows through here. I wish that this would have cut out this piece the same way, then I wouldn't have had to add the other little pieces. Okay, so then you have your belly band here. We're going to close this up. I've put one score line on here because with belly bands around something this heavy, you want to make sure you have enough slack to actually slide it off. So I put it on here like this, push that into the score line, and then I just pull this one over till it's even and sort of give it a finger crease there, and you'll see that it will be able to slide. Leave it on there. And so I'm going to put the glue on this piece here. And a little bit right on this edge here. And then we're just gonna flip that over here and making sure that we're even top and bottom. And you'll see that the seam is in the front rather than the back, and that is so that you can cover the seam up with your feature piece here. Okay. And again, you'll know where to put the glue because these 2 little indicators indicate the center. And these 2 points here line up with the fold of that first panel. So that's the way to get that nice and centered. I'm going to put the glue kind of like this. I don't want to get too wide and go outside of that. So let me line up my 2 top and bottom. That looks pretty good there. That looks pretty good there. We'll leave it set a little bit. And then you'll have your slides on, slides off. That's a nice tight one. I like them tighter, but then people don't know that they're supposed to take them off. So this one is a little bit looser, not too terribly much. It does slide a little bit easier. You could also take a candle and on the inside score line, rub it with some candle wax, and that'll help it slide a little easier. Or what else do they use? Nah, I was going to tell you silicone spray, but no, don't do that. Make it look oily. All right. So that's your card number 2.
That's interesting because that's very Southwesty, and aren't they Australian?
Yes, she's Australian, but they do a lot of farming and cowboying kind of stuff down there. You know, raising horses and big and cattle and sheep and
Sheep, lots of sheep.
so. And I don't know, maybe
Like that stuff.
it looks like Southwestern to me, but you know, she didn't design the stamp set, so she probably was just using it. And her video to make this one card was 2 hours long.
Yikes.
And she started from cutting the paper and deciding what color she wanted to use it, and then talking to people in the background. It was kind of I had to kept on fast forwarding. All right, so that is card number 2. Now the next 2 cards are going to both use a similar, they're both going to use the same stamp set. We're going to make this card next using the Seaside Bay and the Seaside Bay dies. And then the circle was cut with the layering circles framelits, and the white circle was cut with the stitch shapes framelit, which we are not current anymore, but I believe Stylish Shapes also has a circle set in it. So you could use 2 different patterns of paper on this. I'll try to, let me see, I'll pick the one that's, well, let me show you first. You see this paper is iridescent. On the shells, they've got some like silver shininess to them. The other type of paper does not, but you'll never know which one you're going to get. Let's see. Yeah, here's the other paper. It's the same pattern, but it doesn't have the iridescence to it, but it looks just as nice. All right, so that's the one I'm going to make this time so you can see the 2 different ones. All right, so
I just wanted to mention here that I have the
6x6
stack of picture DSP out of order. The DSP should be placed with the largest, widest piece being first. In this case, my fingers in this picture are on the very last
so you don't need to cut it down except make
DSP.
it
That is not
5
correct. That's got to be the one that covers the front,
long.
and that's
So
why
5
I
1/4
had extra room.
tall by
As you go
6.
through it,
And
it
then
worked
you
out,
cut it
but the demonstration
so
really
that
was
it
incorrect. So
measures
put your piece that measures 2 1/4
or 2
over to the
1/8.
left, the middle
gotta cut
piece,
it in
and
this
then
order
the
so
other
they
piece, but
stay
make sure you match the
in
pattern.
the making of a, what do they call that, a triple, no, I can't think of, in artwork it's called a tri something, but anyway, they triptych, that's it, exactly.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I think it's triptych, maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not triptych, because that was what you get from
That's like
AAA.
AAA, right? I think it's triptych.
but it's something like, it sounds something like that. Anyway, you want to keep them in order. So this one is 2 1/8. The middle one is 1 5/8. And the last one is 2 1/4. And that'll use up the whole 6 inches. All right. So I find it helpful to just leave them that way. And then this is your standard card base with a scoring line at 3 inches. Or if you did it this way, it's 1 1/4 inches. So you'd score it 1 1/4 inches and 4 1/4 inches. 1 1/4 inches and 4 1/4 inches. Okay. And the idea of this card is that when it's closed, it covers everything on the inside. And when you open it, it has that finished pattern look. I made it into a sympathy card. You can make it into whatever you like. Thank you would be nice. I thought a birthday would be good. And this lovely ribbon, I fell in love with this balmy blue ombre ribbon. It's just really pretty. The camera's not doing it justice, really. Nope, the colors are not coming out. Well, there's a little bit of it. But it's really pretty. So that's what's over here. And that's the first thing we do so they can get hidden by this particular panel here. So you're going to kind of have to look at this inside panel, figure out where this piece is going to wind up, and then you want to make sure your ribbon winds up and you know, in the center of that, kind of, so that it does get hidden there. So, and I tried something different on this one. I don't think it's going to work though. I tried tying the bow first and then tried tying the bow over the piece of ribbon that we're going to, nope, I'm pulling the wrong thing. That's pulling the wrong thing. There, that's it. So that you would only have to just put this around here like this, and that your bow would already be tied. But obviously that's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to do. So let's start with that and get our ribbon on there. It isn't going to work that way. I just can't maneuver it that way. Now to get it tied back up again is another story. So you want to make sure you got this in the center. Kind of put this piece like this, and you can see where that will be needed to be positioned. And you might take just a little pencil tick so that you know how far over to put that ribbon. And I'm going to put it on, putting some adhesive on each end. I keep getting notifications. They're supposed to be turned off. But I keep on getting notified. And now this one is for a Zoom notification. They ought to know better than to send me a notification when I'm live. So then you're going to stretch this across and put it up to where you had your pencil ticks. And wrap it around. And that one I wrapped around on itself, so it's going to want to stick there. Oh. Sort of like getting saran wrap stuck. I hate when that happens. There we go. All right, pencil tip, wrap around. All right, now erase the pencil tip. Erase the pencil tip. All right, so now we know we could save this bow tie-in business for the last. All right, so this first piece, I'll make sure I have them back in order again. Turn that around. There we go. So you have to complete the picture here. There we go. So this first piece is going to glue on to this one here, but over far enough that it's going to cover up whatever you put underneath that. So we will, and it only gets glued on the one side. This side. It's glued on this side. And so it's going to get positioned as if it were taking its spot as the regular borders here. Okay. Then the next piece is going to get positioned here. So that its picture matches up, but it leaves an 1/8 of an inch border between.
This here shows why the last piece of cardstock didn't fit properly.
And it covers up the ends
And that's
of the
because I
ribbon.
have them out of order.
And then
It
this one,
actually should be
same thing. It's going to
rotated completely around 180
here.
degrees as far
Now,
as
if
order
I've done
goes.
this right,
And then it would have worked out okay.
the sentiment feature should fit on there properly. We'll see. Hey, funny how that works. Okay, so this one you can kind of fudge the border just a tiny bit smaller than the one that's up here, so that when you close that, the whole thing gets covered. See how it's not covered? Because I didn't stamp that, or didn't put that paper on straight. Right, so that's about where that's gonna go. Or it's pretty much bumped right up against it. I think is where I'm going to put it. You can either have a gap or bump. So we're gonna bump so that it's hiding in there. And then I have the sentiment on a StampYourArtOut. And the sentiment piece I have lined up to fit here. And we're stamping that in Night of Navy. Crossing our fingers that I don't get a halo on there. There we go. Pretty good. This off to the side. And we're going to glue this one down. Okay. So when that closes, that's going to cover everything. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my voice. Okay. Alrighty, then you move on to your oyster business. Yeah. You'll get one of these, but I want to show you how to do it. I just put this up here like so, and I put a little bit of tape down here on the bottom to hold it into place so it didn't do one of these numbers. And I'm going to stamp it with black and then color over the top of that with the markers. So this is tuxedo black, and this is, because I have the stamp upside down, it's going to come out upside down, but you know, a circle you can just turn right around. I didn't feel like I should move this stamp. Okay, yeah, let's get a little more there. That's better. Okay, so we're going to be using this little pearl here. And this little pearl, I don't know if you can see, it's about this size. It's not as big as this. It's about this size here. So we're going to make this kind of look like a shadow of the pearl. And this is the pearl itself. Are you seeing that? Mm-hmm. See where this secondary little semicircle is here? That's going to be the bottom of the pearl because that's about the right size for that pearl to fit on there. And then this we're going to make into a shadow. So we're going to take Balmy Blue and Night of Navy markers. I don't have Night of Navy markers. I didn't know that they had Night of Navy. So all I have is Misty Moonlight. And that's what I'm going to use. So first off, I'm going to color in that shadow that I was talking about. Kind of right there. Looks like that pearl's got a beard. And then I am going to go around the outside edges of this with the light. Or is this dark? Yeah, this is light Misty Moonlight. And if you have Night of Navy, use Night of Navy. You can use the regular Stampin' Right marker, or you can use a blender brush. And then I'm just gonna, well, all the dark stuff is gonna be a dark blue. And then I'll show you what I did to kind of just kind of make the outline, outside edge of this scallop up here, which is where the word scallops comes from, by the way. When you have a scalloped edge, it's coming, but because it's talking about this cute little shell. And then I'm just going to draw some blue lines in here, because I'm going to also take dark balmy blue and color some of that in some areas. And when you're doing this, the colors all blend, so it doesn't really matter, except for maybe where you want to put the pink and where things are going to go. So I want to have some pink up there on the top a little bit. Don't want to make it look stripy, but we're going to put some dark petal pink. And this is really just to tie in the colors of the paper. I don't think that I've ever seen an oyster this particular color, but that's the colors that are in the paper. I guess if it was a real shiny thing, it's kind of like the rainbows that you make on the surface of the water. If it's oily. And then I'm going to have a few little dark areas of misty moonlight. Dark the dark. Dark, dark, dark. And then we'll go back with some dark balmy blue. So you see, I'm not really putting a big effort into getting this straight or connected, or I'm just kind of putting it on there. And then just so the pearl has got some color behind it, I'm going to take the dark petal pink and color it in, just in case our little pearl doesn't cover the whole spot, that it still looks like it's colored. All right. So then we're going to, these pearls are the flat adhesive backed pearls, which is, I was going to show you the package. Located somewhere. Well, I guess I'll just have to pick one up and show you. See how it's like opalescent? You get a half a package of big ones and a half a package of little ones. So I'll find my picking up tool. Oh, come on, there it is. And I use the little spatula end on there. And lift it up. And we're going to put that right in that spot right there. I must have left the glue on the, well, we'll put a little dab of glue there. It's sticking to my finger. I wonder why it didn't stick to the paper. Probably paper stamp yet. Okay. There we go. And I like them because they're flat. They still make a bump on your envelope, but not as bad as, you know, the great big ones.
Oh, okay.
They're a little bit skinnier.
And the top is flatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see the top of it, how it's flat. So then we're just centering and centering. And then we're taking our card and closing it. And we're going to find out where this is going to go. And I think that looks like a good spot right there, I think. And so this particular half, or 2/3 of the, I'm only going to go half because I'm liable to go too far. And that gets glued here. It's kind of like centered between the edge of the ribbon and the edge of the DSP is where I put it if you wanted to find a place. And then decide whether you want it right side up or whatever. And then we'll tie our bow. See if I can actually get a bow tied. I was going to try to tie a fork bow and slip the back ribbon in between, because I like it when it looks like it's tied in a bow, you know, tied around the ribbon rather than just glued on top of it. But, you know, didn't work. See, my fingers are really struggling this week with arthritis, so we will see if I can actually get this tied, which is why I was trying to make it easy on myself earlier. Where are you? Hey, try again. Some people can do this so easily. I struggle with this kind of, that's why I make fork bows, because me and this kind of bow we fight. This ribbon is pretty, but it does not slide real well, which is good for tying a bow. It stays tied. There we go. Not the way I wanted it to go, but it's the way it went. And I'm not changing it right now. I could sit here for an hour and play with bows, trying to get them right. You know, when you want it to go straight up and down, it won't. And look at there. We got one that goes straight up and down. I wanted that to go. Maybe I can turn it a little. Let's see. See if it'll turn this way on me. I said I wasn't going to fuss with it, but I'm fussing with it. There, that's better. I wanted those loops out of the way. And then once you get them where you want them, you can put a glue dot behind them. All right. So that is your card number 3. And that one was by a gal called, I put her paper somewhere. I'll find it. I'll find it somewhere. I won't look now though, unless it happens to be behind this one. This last one we're going to do, it's really pretty easy. It was done by a lady named Theresa McEntee, and where is she from? Nobody puts their, well, not nobody, but a lot of people don't put their, even their state of residence on there. I choose to do so. Well, I don't think, maybe I should take that back. Maybe it doesn't say Ohio on anything that I have posted. Anyway, well, it says Medina, Ohio on my Facebook page. Okay, so this is again using some more of that real fancy paper that's in the same pack as this and this. So there's one piece each of something else from that pack. And these here, these little shells, I cut out of, I'll show you when we get to them, where exact the piece of paper that I actually used. Then this is, it says, "Thank you for everything" on the front, and "You are a pearl, rare and precious." Okay, so this is very reminiscent of a card that Ellen taught us how to make. But this particular one, for whatever reason, has specific, I think it was to get as much as she could from the paper as possible. Specific measurement. So you have a regular 8.5 by 5.5, folded and scored at 4.25 hard base, which we're going to put this way. And then the next layer, which we aren't going to mount yet, but is a 1/4 inch smaller, and it's in balmy blue, so it is 5.25 by 4. There's a 5.25 by 4 piece for the inside, and then these 4 pieces of designer series paper, and some ribbon, some shells, and the little shells have the other size of the small size of the pearls on them. And that piece of paper, are those? Yes. So I took the one piece, the shells I'm talking about, the little dies, I just took them and put them on here, just as if the shell, like this, like here, and cut it out. And then I took the little shells and put them here. The little shells actually work a little bit better, and cut them like that. And then you know, they're already shell shaped, and you already got your sizes of your shells already ready for you, and the print on them. So that's one of the pieces in that kit, and there's what the back of that looks like. Paper is awesome. Get 2 packs if you can. All right, so you'll notice there's one difference here. This is the piece. This is the paper I used for this, but I took some balmy blue ink and a blender brush and colored it so it would match the rest of the card. There is another piece of this kind of paper in the paper pack, but it is teal green color. So it didn't necessarily match as well as I wanted either. So we're going to take some balmy blue and just rub it on here. And this the fish are foil, so it's going to emboss resist there. And you can make this as dark as you like. And you see there's not really a neatness coefficient here. It's just brushed on there, trying to get it even in shading there. Then that's all there is to that. So we're going to get back our piece from the kit that we had here. Oh my gosh. There we are. Let's do the layer here. So if you want to go for spacing, the best way I would think is to look to the outside edges, as you would do a normal card that we normally make. I better tell you the dimensions. This piece, the fish piece, is 3 1/8 by 2 1/4. And if you think that's fun, she had the wrong measurements in her book on one of the pieces, and I said that is just exactly not going to work. So I had to work it out as to what size it really was. So we're going to just do that. And this is the border that I'm talking about. This is kind of like your standard 1/8 inch border. And let's see, we'll put our crab next to him. It's a pretty back on that crab paper. I didn't want to actually use it, but I did. So then we're going to like do another evenly spaced piece here. I could have come in a little on this. I gotta make sure I got this the right size. Yeah, 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. This piece, this is another shell pattern, but it's definitely got a wow factor. And then it's going to get taking up this space right here. And see, I wanted the scallop right side up here, and I wanted the blue toward the blue to pick up the blue from there. I don't know, I'm just playing around. It doesn't matter really how you put them on there, just put them on there. So, but all the outside edges are kind of the same height. I don't think I did the world's greatest job on that, but well, whatever. And then we're going to put one. Now her directions weren't too clear, but I don't know why she did, but she said to take a 15-inch piece of this stuff and fold it in half and then put it on there. Maybe, does that make it show up better? Is that the idea, you think? The other stuff doesn't show through it. Maybe that's what she had in mind. Like so. Whatever. I just used one piece. And some here. And this one is just going to have a half knot on it, so you don't need to worry too much about where the bow will be, etc. So I'm going to put that on there like that. Trying to get it straight. Wrap that around the back. Wrap that around the back. Great, Robin. Okay. There we go. And then that can get mounted to the front of the card. When I put a ribbon on there, I always take my tape runner over the top of the ribbon too, just to make sure it's well stuck. And then I'm going to notch my piece there. This is going to slip under here and have a half knot. I'll put it on there, but don't pull it tight right now until you find out where your label is going to fit. All right, so then there should have been a label in there. Okay, so I need to remember to do that. But what we're going to do, see, it needs to be 3 inches. So this will be just perfect. We're going to take the seashell stamp from this one here. And we're going to get out our balmy blue. We're going to ink it up. Stamp off. And then stamp right across the middle here. We're going to cut this out with a die cut, so it's not critical. And then I have, get out the words. Where are you, words? There you are. The thank you for everything should get stamped in Night of Navy. Now I got Night of Navy on top of my balmy blue. Good thing they're both blue. Okay. See if we can get this straight. Well, thank you for everything. And then we're going to take our die cutting machine and a banner shapes, stitch banners. I forget what's the name of those. Stylish shapes dies is what we're using to cut it out. And I have it over here on my magnet, and it's being resistant to coming out. So we just take this and lay it, center it on the image. Some of the image will get cut off, but the words should not. So you'll have the opportunity to get nice and straight on there. Send it through your machine. I need to remember to put you a piece of white paper in your kit for stamp. Or, yeah. Cut the banner for you. Alrighty, so now we have our banner. And we're going to put a couple dimensionals on the back. I'm going to put them toward the outer edges of the banner so that it can actually span across the ribbon. So we're going to peel off the backings of those. All right, and then it gets set over the top of this like so. Save room for a shell or two. Make sure it's straight before you push it down. And then I took the big shell, put a little glue on the back, stuck it underneath this corner. And then I put a dimensional on the top edge of this. Let's see. That'll be the top edge of it, because the bottom edge of it is going to be glued to the banner. And so put that on, and a little bit of glue down here. And so this is going to half and half there over the top of that, and you can turn it whatever way you like. And then this one down here, the same thing. One corner will have glue and the other corner will have a dimensional, because it needs to be the same height so it doesn't snag and come off if you didn't. And I'm going to turn this one a little bit like so. It also helps to hold the tag either side of that piece of ribbon. And then you can take this and tighten it wherever you really want your ribbon to go. I think just like so. And I'm going to cut that with a V. So you fold the ribbon in half. And the point of the V will be the closest to the center of the knot. So you just snip and you get a little flag tail there. And I might slide that down a little bit. See if it's going to slide for me. Yes. It didn't need all this ribbon. You probably could get away with half of it. So if you want to conserve a piece, that'll work. And there we go. And that one does not want, there we go. Well, it does not want to stay where I want it to stay. So I'll end up putting a glue dot underneath it. But there you are for the outside. Now the inside piece is going to, the last one I have mounted in the StampYourArtOut. I'll find it. Well, we'll stamp everything else first while I think of where it might be. The sentiment that says you're a pearl. Okay, so now we're back with our shells border stamp. This one here. And I'm going to do that up the side of the, just like that. And then we're going to close up this balmy blue so I don't make a mistake again. And we're going to find the conch shell. And we're going to find the gray granite. And I'm going to stamp a conch shell here to see which way it's going. Okay. I'm going to stamp that down here. And another one kind of in next to those guys. And then there's a snail shell. More little snail. See what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. And another one. Maybe up here. Okay. Everything's within a circle around it. Well, here's the thing. You know how to stamp, and we're just going to put this. You are a pearl, rare and precious, right there. And then mount it on the inside of that card, which I don't even know what oh, there it is. Yeah. Nope, it's mounted in the StampYourArtOut somewhere. Oh, well. I'm going to cry over spilt milk here. But I am going to cry because I got a smudge on my, on my thingy. I'll have to put another shell or something there. All righty, so that's card number 4.
That's great. And the blue.
Trying to get them all out here on the table works. And then our southwestern one here. Okay. Any questions?
Pretty, pretty.
Nope.
Hi. Well, I thank you for coming.
Hey,
Thank you both for your orders.
you're welcome.
And
Yeah,
next
I had to
class,
deliver
we need to kind of look at that. I am not going to be able to find the calendar either. It's under a bunch of stuff here, and I am. It's really hard to do all this work. Oh, I found the stamparatus. That's a good thing. Well, I found the stamparatus, but I didn't find the plate with the stamp on that I needed. So we're still out in left field. At least I didn't lose the stamparatus, though.
That's there.
So it'd be around the same time of the month. Anybody have their calendar handy?
Nope.
Well, I'll get with you, but it'd be about the same. What is it? The
17th.
Is that a Tuesday?
Yeah, today.
Okay. Today's Tuesday, the 17th. So
I want to say, let's see. 10, 11. I want to say Tuesday the 15th, maybe.
yeah, well, it'll be that around
February?
that time of the month. It won't be in the 20s and it won't be in the single digits.
Yeah.
So, all righty.
Alrighty.
Thank you so much
Well,
for
thanks.
coming, and we'll see you next time.